All right, welcome in everybody to the Rob and Door Show, right here on the Hashmark Sports Network, brought to you by buyjamsol.com.
Buyjamsol.com.
Now, before we get to the good stuff, the Final Four, can we just take a minute to pour one out for our producer, Dave Evergreen?
Oh, man.
I think I saw him earlier today just staring at his phone like he was trying to burn a hole through it with his eyes.
Yeah.
I think he might have actually deleted his bracket app.
Oh, no.
It was that bad.
Tough scene.
Tough scene for Dave, but his pain is our gain because that means we get to focus on what really matters now.
That's right.
The Final Four.
The Final Four.
We've got Auburn, Florida, Duke, Houston.
Yep.
Those are the 4 teams left standing.
The last 4.
And we're going to break down these matchups, with a handicapper's eye, trying to find some value for our listeners.
That's what we're here for, man.
Absolutely.
All the Cinderella stories, all the bracket busters, they're gone now.
Yep.
We're down to the nitty-gritty.
Nitty-gritty.
These 4 teams.
4 teams.
They all got here for a reason.
Yep.
Let's see if we can figure out who's cutting down the nets.
All right, well, let's jump right into the first matchup. We've got Florida taking on Auburn. And right away, these 2 teams are coming out of the SEC, so this is going to be a
Oh, absolutely. This will be a rock fight.
rock fight.
SEC, baby.
SEC, baby.
Down and dirty.
Auburn finished the regular season 32-5. They were the top team in the SEC.
Very impressive.
And they are led by Johnny Broome. This guy's a monster. He averaged 18.7 points per game, 10.9 rebounds per game, and 2.1 blocks per game.
Wow. He gets it all.
He does it all. He's their leading scorer, rebounder, and shot blocker.
He fills up the stat sheet.
And they've also got Tahad Pettiford, who runs the point. He averaged 2.9 assists per game.
Solid floor general.
Absolutely.
You know what impressed me about Auburn is they weren't always favored. They had to win some tough games to get here. They weren't always the higher seed, but they found a way.
They found a way.
And I think that speaks to their grit.
That's that SEC toughness you were talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Broome is clearly their engine, right? But can Florida find a way to stop him?
That's the $1 million question.
That's the $1 million question. On the other side, you've got Florida. They were right there with Auburn in the SEC, 34-4 on the season.
Yeah, they can play.
Their offense runs through Walter Clayton Jr. He averaged 18.1 points a game and 4.2 assists.
That's a nice backcourt.
Backcourt's solid. And then they got Alex Condon down low. He averaged 7.7 boards and 1.6 blocks.
So they got some size, too.
They got some size. So this is more than just a conference rematch.
Oh, yeah.
This is a battle for a spot in the national championship game.
Absolutely.
Now, the odds makers have got Florida as a slight favorite, 2.5 points. The total is at 160.5. So, when you look at that line, what are you thinking?
Well, what stands out to me is Florida, they won some close games in this tournament.
Yeah, they did.
Some high-stakes games, they pulled them out.
Yep.
And I think, Auburn obviously has Broome. He's a huge factor.
Of course.
But I think Florida's offense, they've got more balance.
Yeah.
And I think that might be just enough to get them over the hump here. So I'm going to take Florida to cover. I'm going to lay those 2.5 points.
Florida minus 2.5.
Yeah. And, the total, I'm thinking under
160.
Under 160.5.
Yeah. Final 4 games, things tighten up.
Yeah, the defenses really start to dial in.
Teams get a little more conservative.
Yep, absolutely.
So under for me.
All right. Solid breakdown. I see where you're coming from with Florida's backcourt. Clayton can really create.
Absolutely.
But I got to say, I'm impressed with Auburn's run.
Yeah.
They've faced a lot of different styles. They've had to adjust. They've had to grind it out.
True.
And, Broome, he's a difference maker down low.
And I think all those battles they had in the SEC, those close games, that's going to give them an edge mentally in a game like this.
Yeah, you might be right.
So I'm actually going to go with Auburn to win this one outright. I like him as a dog.
Wow. Okay.
Taking Auburn plus the 2.5.
Right.
But on the total, I'm with you. I'm also on the under. Remember, 60.5.
Yeah, it's under gang.
So we got a little disagreement.
Yeah, we'll see who's right.
Who's going to the championship game.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's move on to the other semifinal, which is Duke taking on Houston.
Oh, man, this is a good one.
This is an interesting one because you've got Duke, who just steamrolled their region.
Yeah, they've been dominant.
And then you've got Houston, who kind of had to grind out their wins.
You've been battle-tested, that's for sure.
Battle-tested is a good way to put it. So let's start with Duke. They finished the season 35-3. That's good for first in the ACC.
Yeah, the ACC's no joke.
No joke. And they have Cooper Flagg. I mean, this guy is the real deal. He averaged 18.9 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1.4 steals.
Wow. He stuffs the stat sheet.
Yeah. Leading scorer, rebounder, assist man, almost their leading stealer, too.
What can't he do?
He's a problem.
He's a problem.
He's a walking highlight reel.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
And then you've got Houston. They were just as impressive, 34-4 on the season. They won the Big 12, which...
The Big 12 is tough.
Tough.
Every night's a dogfight.
Dogfight every single night. They've got LJ Cryer, who's their leading scorer, 15.4 points a game.
Solid player.
Jawan Roberts is their leading rebounder, 6.3 boards a game.
Right.
And Milos Uzan runs the point. He averages 4.4 assists.
Okay.
But what really stands out about Houston, to me at least, is their defense.
Oh, yeah. They're known for their defense.
They are suffocating.
They get after it.
So this is going to be strength against strength, right?
Absolutely.
You've got Duke, this high-powered offense led by Flagg, who can just, I mean, he can just take over a game. He can't.
Versus Houston's defense, which is relentless.
Yeah. So the question is, can Houston disrupt Duke?
That's the question.
Can they get them out of rhythm?
Can they force turnovers? Can they slow the game down?
That's going to be key.
Now, the odds makers, they have Duke as a 5.5 point favorite, which is, I mean, that's a pretty big spread.
It is.
Especially in the Final Four.
Yeah.
And the total is set at 136.5, which is actually relatively low.
Yeah. That's a little surprising.
So what are you thinking with this line?
Well, I mean, you got to ask yourself, is 5.5 too many points to give a team like Houston?
It's a good question.
Who's, you know, they've been so good defensively.
Right.
They've proven they can hang with anyone.
Yeah.
Now, Duke's offense, it's amazing, but Houston can make life difficult for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Flagg, he's playing at another level right now.
He is.
And I just think Duke's talent might be too much in the end.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Duke to win and cover. Duke minus 5.5.
Okay.
As for the total, I'm going under.
Under.
136.5. Under 136.5.
I think this game, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be low scoring.
Yeah. Final four, both teams' defenses are going to be locked in.
Exactly.
Okay. I see your point. I mean, Duke, they're loaded, especially with Flagg.
Yeah.
But you know what gives me pause is Houston, they've been winning these close games all tournament long.
True.
They beat Purdue.
Yeah, that was a big win.
That was a huge win.
Purdue was a tough out.
And they did it with their defense. I mean, they just shut teams down.
Yeah. Their defense travels.
It travels. So I'm actually going to take Houston to cover.
Okay.
I think they keep it within 5.5.
All right.
Maybe even pull off the upset.
Maybe.
But on the total, I'm with you. Under 136.5. That Houston defense.
I don't like it tough.
It makes every possession a battle.
Exactly.
So we agree on the total, but
Different spreads.
different spreads.
We'll see who's right.
That's the fun of it.
Exactly. Different perspectives, different ways to look at the game.
Absolutely.
And hey, that's why we do this.
That's why we do it.
To give the folks at home something to think about.
Exactly.
The different angles.
All right, so just to recap our Final Four picks for everybody out there.
Yeah, let's go over it.
You've got Florida minus 2.5
That's right.
against Auburn.
Yep.
And the under 160.5 in that game.
Under 160.5.
They're also on Duke minus 5.5 against Houston.
Yes, sir.
And the under 136.5 in that one.
Under 136.5.
I'm taking Auburn plus the 2.5 and
Right.
the under 160.5.
Under.
And then I'm on Houston plus the 5.5
Right.
and also the under 136.5.
So two unders, two unders.
Two unders, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yep, looking forward to it.
So looking ahead to the national championship game, you're predicting a Florida-Duke final.
Yeah, based on my picks, that's what we're looking at.
And in that scenario, you got Duke winning it all.
Yeah, I think Duke, they're just so talented.
They're stacked.
They got so many weapons, and Flagg is, he's special.
He's the best player in the country.
He might be.
So, yeah, in a Florida-Duke final, I think Duke would be the favorite.
I agree.
But if my picks come through,
Yeah.
we're looking at an Auburn-Duke championship.
That'd be a fun one.
That'd be a fun one. That'd be strength versus strength, you know?
Yeah, Auburn's defense against Duke's offense.
Absolutely.
Who wins that battle?
Who wins that battle? But even in that scenario, I think I'm still leaning towards Duke.
Yeah, I think I am too.
They're just too good.
They're just too good.
So we'll see what happens. But right now, my pick for the national champion is Duke.
Duke for me too.
All right, so we're on the same page there.
Same page.
So there you have it. That is our deep dive into the Final Four.
That's right.
We broke down the matchups.
We did.
We gave you our picks.
We gave you our picks.
We talked about the spreads, the totals, everything.
Everything you need to know.
And this is the Robin Dorr Show on the Hashmark Sports Network.
The best sports network out there.
We cover all the major tournaments, whether it's March Madness,
The
NBA playoffs,
NBA playoffs.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
You name it, we're on it.
We're there.
Who knows what our producer Dave Evergreen will have us breaking down next week.
Now, what's Dave going to cook up?
Maybe we'll be handicapping the WNBA draft.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll be previewing the NFL season.
Who knows?
You never know with Dave. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be fun.
Always a good time.
But for now, as you're sitting there, you're looking at your bracket, you're thinking about your bets, just remember, March Madness is unpredictable.
Oh, yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
Upsets galore.
Anything can happen. So do your research, consider the spreads, consider the totals,
Do your homework
and most importantly, gamble responsibly.
responsibly.
All right, thanks for tuning into this deep dive into the Final Four.
Appreciate you guys listening
Right here on The Robin Dorr Show.
on the Hashmark Sports Network.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.